Fancave, people.
Hello.
What's up, fangirls and fanboys? It is a sort of unofficial episode of the Electric Fan Cave, but we wanted to keep you posted on what's happening in pop culture because there's so much right now. But basically, all of us are sick, including Kristen, who is sick and asleep.
I think she has mono.
The kissing disease, if you will. Um, and I have it too from kissing Kristen, and Free has it from kissing all of us.
I feel so left out.
Wait, no, I said you have it from kissing all of us.
Okay.
Oh, this is a terrible intro. All that to say, we're going to talk to you a little bit about pop culture this fine evening for a little bit. It's just going to be an abridged version so that you know what's up, and my voice doesn't have to hold out all that long. So, Bree, what do you say we get down to business?
Let's do it.
To defeat
the Huns.
Okay. Oh, I closed the effects window and I still have my pirate hat. I have, for those of you who are listening to the podcast and not actually watching it, we are experimenting with the Google effects. So Brienne has a pretty fancy mustache, which occasionally transfers to the Frida Kahlo painting behind her if she's not careful. I think you can't put your head in front of it.
There
it is. Yeah. No, it's on Frida. It's like when oh man, it would be great if it went on Magnum PI back there too. Anyways,
yes.
And I have a fancy pirate hat and a monocle over my glasses. So all that to say, we're looking pretty good. We are looking
sharp.
We're looking sharp, looking fly. We may feel under the weather, but we're looking great. So anyways, it was St. Patty's this past weekend. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Brie.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Corey.
Yeah, it was. Would you say it was a good time?
It was a good time. Towards the end, I just wanted to go home and sleep.
Yeah. But yep, I feel that. I slept in my car for a while afterwards.
That's good.
I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna chill here in my car, hang out.
I kind of thought, well, they said that it was only going to go till 11. But
come on.
It's like 2:00, and how long is she going to hang out?
No, I wasn't hanging out with anyone. I was just hanging out with myself. Well, the funny thing was, so my my car gets pretty good gas mileage, and I had just reset the gas thing to be like, oh, how far does it get? And I was really impressed with how great the gas mileage was, considering it's not a hybrid or anything like that. So it was getting around 37 miles to the gallon. I was like, cool. And then I fell asleep in my car with it on and the radio playing and all that kind of stuff. And so when I the next day I was looking and I was like, why does my car say now that it only gets 30 miles to the gallon? I was like, because I was in my car for 4 hours with it running.
And it didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, it didn't go nowhere. It just sat there.
That's still a good miles per gallon.
Yeah, that's not bad for having sat all night in a parking lot running. So good job, Tiberius the car. And St. Patty's Day, which is delightful. Yeah, that's
we heard a great band called Velvet Thunder.
Oh, Velvet Thunder was pretty magical. It was not what I was expecting.
No, not at all.
It's like a couple of super cool black dudes, jamming.
Fiddle.
Fiddling like crazy. It was the coolest. And it was a good time. I think they did a good job with it, set up a good set of bands. So next year, all of you who are local Angelinos and OC people and whatnot will have to come out because it'll be a Friday and you can sleep in your car all night and not have to worry about going to work the next day.
You just picture the whole parking lot just it's like a Japanese hotel. Just have the little pods. Everybody's sleeping.
Exactly. That's basically what it was. I'm sure I couldn't have been the only one at that point.
I hope not.
Or I don't know. Maybe I hope so. It's really hard to tell. Maybe it's best if I was alone in the parking lot. But anyways, there was a last week we didn't fan cave because we were preparing for the St. Patty's Day thing, and also realistically the No Pants was having hangout watching Man Up.
Yeah, we were.
Oh my gosh, it was so magical, wasn't it, Brie?
It was. It was also exceeded expectations.
It did exceed expectations.
You know, I love Simon Pegg, but I just feel like his track record's not, you know, it's either 5 stars or no stars.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. He's real hit or miss. And so you never really know. But if you all remember a while back on the Fan Cave that Kristen and I were very excited about this movie coming out with Lake Bell and Simon Pegg, in which Lake Bell is kind of like an aimless mid-30s woman who hasn't found love or satisfaction in her life, and she ends up stealing some other woman's blind date and just rolling with it. And we were very excited about it. We were hopeful about it, and it turned out it exceeded expectations, as producer Bree said. So it's on Netflix. I think we can say we can highly recommend it. You really
have no excuse, because you either have Netflix or you have a friend who has Netflix.
That's true. That's a really good point. And we'll also say this. Kristen, after we left her place after watching it, went back and rewatched several scenes of it over again.
Not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing. Just, you know, favorite parts. So funny. That kind of thing. This is the funny thing. So, FYI, next week on the Fan Cave, we're going to have back Leah Ray Miller, who we had a year and a half ago for her epic book, The Summer I Became a Nerd.
King of the Nerds. Oh.
No. Summer I Became a Nerd. And she's got a new book that is coming out, which Chris and I have read, called Romancing the Nerd, and is delightful. She's going to be on next week, so make sure that you come back for that action. But Kristen keeps The Summer I Became a Nerd next to her bed, and also rereads her favorite parts of that when she's,
when she does her devotionals in the morning. She takes the passage to meditate on.
The nerd devotional. The Summer I Became a Nerd.
We should totally make one.
That should be a
Kristen
thing.
could do that.
Yeah, that would be it. That would be epic. I wonder if that exists already. We should. After this, we're gonna Google, see if nobody steal our idea. If the nerd devotional doesn't exist, we need to make it. This is how we make our fortune.
Sacrilege. Sacrilegious.
I like it. Hey, Brie, we've got some pop culture news to discuss, don't we now?
Yeah, apparently we do.
What tickles your fancy to talk about first?
Let's just go in order. Start talking about Indiana Jones, because I do have some thoughts.
Oh, you do have thoughts. Well, then, Brie, why don't you talk about it?
Well,
and tell what the news is first before we get into thoughts on it.
So apparently they're going to do another Indiana Jones movie, because maybe they think everybody forgot about the Crystal Skull already. It's coming out in July 2019, which, I don't think the government is going to hold up until then. I think there's going to be chaos.
America will have ended by then. So
right. I don't really even have a lot of hope that there's going to be a structure that will support movie theaters that far in the future. So this is all just hypothetical.
Yeah.
But when I just saw the link, I thought, Indiana Jones, it's such a great concept, and the movies are great. I wouldn't mind them making a new one. But then I read that Harrison Ford will be starring in it again.
Yeah.
And as much as you gotta love Harrison Ford, when the last one came out in 2008, so it'll be 11 years.
Long ago?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I remember Conan O'Brien joking that it was going to be called Indiana Jones in the Big Comfy Bed. And it's like, what is he, no offense, but what is he going to be doing?
Right. Like, he can't be an action hero anymore.
And we can't have Shia LaBeouf. We can't have him in it again, obviously.
Clearly.
But that would be kind of the best concept, is that he's like mentoring somebody.
Right. But do we want that again? That's the thing, is what sounds like they have happening is like he's actually going to be the star. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be a more intellectual Indiana Jones or something like that. But I can't picture it. Maybe they're going to pull out some sort of huge surprise with this, but
it's going to be like crossover with Night at the Museum. And he's going to be like, this doesn't belong in a museum. And he's just like in there.
Take it back.
Trying to like find something in the museum that shouldn't be there.
I would watch that crossover. I would not lie to you.
That would be satisfying.
It would be really satisfying. But yeah, I think this strikes me as a bad idea. I mean, like, how Harrison Ford, is he in his 70s now?
70s?
I feel like he's in his 70s.
Like, I thought like
here's
80s.
I thought he can't be in his
90s.
He is 117 years old, you guys. He cannot be making more movies.
Oops. What were those World Wars? He was already like 30 then.
That's the thing, is like he's
73.
He's 73. There you go. That's a good age. And 2019 is 3 years from now.
Yeah. So it's going to come out just after his like 75th birthday. 70. I can't do math. Yeah.
Well, good on him for, believing in himself. I don't know. Just keeping on, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, is he doing it for the nostalgia?
Right. Especially because he's not like the kind of guy.
Do you hear music right now? What's happening?
No.
Oh, it's because I opened the link with Indiana Jones. So all of a sudden it was playing this really like boom, 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 boom music.
I was like, what happened over there?
Anyways,
what I was saying was, Harrison Ford, like, if you think about it, like, he's always been grumpy about like Han Solo, right? So he's not the kind of guy who's just like straight up nostalgia or straight up money can make him like sign on and be excited about something,
Right.
Like, if he's doing it begrudgingly, he's doing it begrudgingly. And so if he's always like the Indiana Jones character more, I guess, but I don't know. This is a very strange concept to me. So we'll see what happens and if it comes to fruition and how involved in it he actually is. But that was the announcement last week. Man. We also got an announcement that, and this comes up every now and again, but this was like the most definitive sounding one. Gary Marshall and Anne Hathaway want to make Princess Diaries 3.
Yep. Another 10, 15 years later.
I'd also read Chris Pine was into it, which is a good sign, because here's the thing. It's like after the first one, then they go to the second one, and you're like, oh, she's not with what's-his-face anymore. It's like you can't just keep on trading out dudes and have it work. So I want to see Pine and Hathaway in Princess Bride 3.
Right.
Do you think that what they'll do is like she'll have like a daughter or something that's...
I was, because I was thinking, connecting in my mind to the Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Right, yeah.
The new one coming out where it's more about her daughter. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what makes sense. But it says that it's going to take place like in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Which seems okay.
Doesn't make sense because she's supposed to be in Genovia. Hello.
Right. Maybe it's United Nations.
I don't know why you're so excited about like United Nations.
Isn't the United Nations exciting?
Yeah. Love the United Nations.
There's a lot of possibilities for like really hilarious, bad stereotyped characters.
Yes, this is true. Well, but if it's going to be a Manhattan, then maybe that actually lends credence to the idea that it's like her daughter or something like that. Because, like, if she has to be in Genovia running the queendom, whatever, then, you know, who are we following in Manhattan?
Yeah, and maybe, you know, it's like, oh, it's my first time out of my little country where I'm princess.
Right?
It'll be like Prince and Me, except for it's from the princess's point of view.
Right. Totally. I don't know. I can get behind that. As long as it's not like they turn it into like I don't know. I'm like, turn it into like a teeny bopper version. It was always a teeny bopper thing. The first one had Mandy Moore singing Stupid Cupid. But like, you know what I mean? Where it's like when they try to bring like, something like Girl Meets
like
World.
Mean Girls too.
Or Mean Girls 2, even.
It's like just that. Like Disney Channel kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't want it to be Disney Channel. I want it to be Disney Movie.
Yes.
That's the difference. That's what he was saying. Those are like two very different things. I love my Disney Channel original movies, but they're their own special thing.
Right.
As opposed to your Disney movie, which is what Princess Bride is. I have a memory from college of, you know, being like my frumpy self and just always wearing jeans and t-shirts and like my hair in a ponytail like I always do and everything. And we had JSB, what did that say? Junior senior banquet?
Senior ball. Ball? I don't know. One of the two.
I want to say it's banquet because ball sounds like a thing where you dance and technically we weren't allowed to dance.
But there was dancing.
Well, there was, but you remember the professors and everything would flood out first so that they wouldn't see. I don't remember that. It. Oh yeah, they would leave so that they'd be like, oh, we plead the fifth.
Gosh.
So the JSB that I had like a team of people trying to make me look presentable, you know, doing my hair and makeup and stuff in my friend's room, and without even thinking about it, we put on Princess Diaries, and I suddenly realized at that scene where is it Paolo or whatever his name is doing up everything. He's got like all the things. I was like, oh my God.
Wait.
I'm Mia Thermopolis, right? That is my actual life. And it's dear to my heart, that movie.
Yeah. I only really remember the second one though.
Really?
Yeah. Because I watched it more.
Really?
And the thing is, as much as I love Chris Pine now that the Star Trek has come out.
Yeah.
The Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I really liked the guy that she didn't marry.
Right. Yeah. I think at the time I liked him too. Right. There's definitely like his charm. Chris Pine's charm is like retroactive now.
Yeah. Right. I was trying to think of that actor's name earlier. And all I could think was Cordon Bleu.
That doesn't sound right.
But it's Callum Blue.
Callum Blue. That sounds
a
little more like a name.
Yeah, a little bit. I know, because once I got to Callum Blue, it was like, that still doesn't seem right.
Like, that can't be it.
Blue's not a good last name.
No. Well, it's weird. There's like, so you said Cordon Bleu, and then there's Callum Blue, and then there's Corbin Blue. There's like something with people whose last name is Blue.
Yeah.
Where they have to make it sound like they're a chicken dish.
Their moms are really hungry when they're naming them.
I get that. I get that on a deep level. You know, is that? But yeah, I have probably seen the second one maybe 3 times, which would be a lot for like a normal person. But like I've seen the original Princess Diaries probably like 20. So comparatively, you know, that's the one I know a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like probably just about every line of, if we're being realistic about it. I watched it a lot. Anyways, more news.
Anyways.
There's a movie coming out. Very timely. About and she's going to be played by Margot Robbie, who, if you listen to Fancave regularly, Kristen and I are still trying to figure out why she's a thing and why they keep trying to force us to believe in her as a thing. But like a Tonya Harding movie, Brie, where was the demand?
You know, like I was thinking about it, and I feel like if it wasn't a true story, it would be a wonderful movie. But since it's a true story,
it would make no sense as a movie.
Yeah, it's a little far-fetched.
Yeah. Like women, and if you weren't around for the 90s and maybe missed this when this happened, it was a big deal during the, was 94 Olympics, 96?
I think so.
94 Winter Olympics, I think, that there was a, rising young troubled star figure skater named Tanya Harding and her chief rival Nancy Kerrigan. And Tanya was a little worried about her prospects, so she got her fiance and his homies to go.
Some thugs.
Yeah, some thugs. To try to, which only succeeded in bruising Nancy Kerrigan. She ended up winning the silver, I think, and Tanya Harding
that was like kind of the anticlimactic thing, that she got silver and Oksana Bayul, who knows who she is, got gold. See, right. if it were just a movie, that would have happened differently.
Exactly. If it were just a movie, either Nancy Kerrigan would have overcome it all and won, or Tanya Harding would have won, and then it would have been like the, big pulling back of the curtain, and we find out that she's not as good a girl anymore and all that. But no, since it's real life, Tanya Harding got like 8th place. Nancy Kerrigan got silver. Oksana Bayul was on our lips for 10 minutes afterwards.
You're right.
But it was, I feel like, I mean, maybe it's also because I'm from Massachusetts and I like to skate, and my friends all skated and stuff. But this was like a really big year, and everyone was like wicked into figure skating. So that happening was like huge.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
For me, it was, I was like in 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just when I was starting to get more into just like things in general. And I was like, I still have all of the newspaper clippings.
Oh, wow.
Like that was a big deal.
Yeah. That's, I remember in that general era, it was like we all had like the Nancy Kerrigan things on our wall. Nancy Kerrigan even came to our skating rink in Greenfield, Massachusetts. And it was like I couldn't get it. The line was too long. I was sitting outside watching my brother John's football game, and I could see everyone, and I couldn't get in, and it was like the saddest thing of my life. But like, that's how big it was. And it was the same time it was like the Dream Team was like around that time, like, or a couple of years later or earlier. And like, you had the gymnasts, you had like Carrie Strug around that general time. So like the Winter and Summer Olympics were just like a really huge presence at that point. And so the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing was obviously a little bit of a shakeup. But it seems more like a Lifetime movie than something you try to make into a real thing. I
can't imagine it being like a real movie that, like a blockbuster kind of thing. Like, I feel like it's gonna have to come off like a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, because it's not gonna be a blockbuster, and it's not gonna be like Oscar-winning drama. Like, there's not, because it's not, the stakes aren't high enough. Like, nobody's killed. There's not like, it's just like
maybe they'll change it.
A person gets bruised a little bit, and like we lose a little faith in some chick from Oregon.
Yeah, but if you like string out the suspense and like you don't know how badly hurt she is, and you really want her to win, I don't know. Well, are you frozen?
Like, am I? You're not frozen.
You're good now.
Okay. Good.
Do you think this is coming off of like the People versus O.J. Simpson? Like
it feels a little that way, and in that sense, I can see it being a great FX miniseries.
Yeah.
I'd totally watch that, as I have with the People versus O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
It's so good. But I don't know. This is a weird one to me. It's a mix of like, who is their target audience and what are they expecting of this? And why Margot Robbie? Someone pointed out, they were like, actually, Margot Robbie, like, if you pull her hair back and everything, looks like Nancy Kerrigan, and Amy Adams looks just like Tanya Harding. So this was a miscast. Like, yeah, that's true. But Amy Adams is way too old to play Tanya Harding at this point. That's not like a. I mean, she's like nearly 40, and Tanya Harding was like 20?
74.
Yeah, she's like 74. She's like up there with Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were in American Graffiti together. So. Anyways, I don't know. Let us know what you think if you disagree and think this is going to be a blockbuster, amazing something. I just have my doubts. I have my doubts. But there's some movie trailers out right now that are kind of interesting. Yes. Hey, Brie, did you read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children?
No. And actually, like when I first started seeing it, I got it mixed up with that like Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh, they're still making those? And then I saw that it's like a whole big novel.
Did you see that? I mean, they're not making them like they were before, but it's going to be like a Netflix Lemony Snicket.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is Jude Law going to be in it?
Probably not.
I don't think. It's okay.
But he should probably be in everything.
Generally. He was that one, the year that Lemony Snicket came out, he kind of was in everything.
That's true. Yeah. It's like, how did Jude Law have time to be in so many movies and yet have babies with so many different women?
He had a time turner.
Yeah, he's truly a magical human in that way. I don't know how he did it. But anyways, Miss Peregrine.
But you're reading it.
Let me sneak it. I am reading it. I'm like halfway through it at this point. And it seems pretty delightful. Our friend of the fan cave, Alex Blakey, seemed upset with the trailer. She seems to think that it's different than the book in some like very visible way, like enough that she was like, why would you make such an enormous change to this? So now I'm like, so now I just like really want to like get through the book so that I can be like,
picture the cat being black.
It's Hunger Games all over again. Jeez Louise. Speaking another diverging, that was an unintentional pun I was making because I thought of Hunger Games and things not being how they were expected. I saw today as well that Allegiant is like, there's just like no way it's going to break even. And so Lionsgate is like tanking on the power of Allegiant and not Exodus Gods and Kings, but Gods of Egypt. Like those were their two things they put out. And like they split Allegiant into two parts, like with other stuff. And
they're not nobody can put out the second one.
So yikes.
Gosh, that's
Lionsgate, get your ish together.
Maybe the government will bail them out.
Good luck with that.
Timely.
No,
they should make Shailene Whitley, whatever her name is, Woodward. They should make her be like an indentured servant. She pays off some of that debt.
Oh, poor Shailene. I was thinking, I was like, Shailene Woodley is kind of like a little bit of an it girl who's in a bunch of things right now, both like indie and mainstream. But yeah, it's gotta suck even in that, like when you're a super popular actress and all that, to be like, oh, my movie that was supposed to be a blockbuster tanked, and there's still one more. Nobody goes and sees the last one without having seen the one before it.
Right.
So not ideal.
Well, maybe people will see it on demand or something.
I don't know if that quite makes up for it, but it's a step in the right direction. But anyway, the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children though looks it's Tim Burton, but it's not so Tim Burton that you're like, ooh, hits you over the head with it,
Helena Bonham Carter is not in it.
As far as we know.
I can see.
Yeah. I mean, it does have, what's that girl's name? The one who's playing Miss Peregrine in it.
Yeah, I don't know who she
was. She was also in Dark Shadows.
Eva Green.
Eva Green, yeah. She's also in Dark Shadows. So she's a Burton Hughes, I guess, as well. But it feels like it has a little of his touch on it without being like, smack, it's another Tim Burton film.
Yeah. It's like when you watch it and then you see that it's Tim Burton, then it's like, oh yeah, okay.
That's it, because I'd forgotten that he was the one making it, and so at the end of the trailer, when it was like from director Tim Burton, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I like the way it like in the beginning of them like swimming underwater and all that kind of stuff. And it's like really like just pretty and kind of like magical and whimsical. Like
Right, because I saw the trailer on one of my friends' Facebook page, and I didn't know what it was, and I was at work. I was at work, so I didn't have the sound on. And so I didn't know what it was, and I just saw the scene where they're underwater, and I'm like, oh, this seems delightful. What is this?
That seems nice.
But then all those little kids are just too creepy looking for me. Yeah. I don't think I can take it.
That's fair. And they are, like, in the book so far, they do have weird, they call them their peculiar, oh, geez, that's a hard word to say. Peculiarities.
Say it like it's
peculiarities. Ooh, that's a hard word. Those, and they are often very creepy. So,
but it's one thing to read it and, like, you kind of picture
it's different to see
it on terms, and then
and, like, even I don't know, that can go either way.
Even the main, like, the blonde girl who was in the water, like, she looks normal, but then there's something about her that I'm not sure if it's just how the actress looks or if they, like, made her eyes look really big or something, or really small.
I think maybe she does have an eye thing, but then I'm like, no, I think she accuses him of having an eye thing.
They're really round eyes. I think that's it.
Like, it's just a weird looking actress. Or I don't know. I can't say. Yeah, but it looks interesting. We'll see what happens with that one. Once I finish the book, I'll decide if I'm as angry as Alex over whatever they changed in the trailer. But check that out. As always, you can find these links on electricfeast.com afterwards so that you too can be in the know on what's going on. What other trailers did we have?
Captain America.
Oh, I kind of feel bad discussing this without Kristen here.
Yeah, maybe you could wait. You just tell people, watch this trailer.
FYI, the Civil War trailer exists. I feel like Kristen is going to have a lot of thoughts on this, and we should save it for her.
Yeah.
So, Kristen, we're going to save Civil War for you, okay? Because we're chums. X-Men Apocalypse, I cannot wait on, though, because X-Men Apocalypse looks amazing! Oh, my God. Brie, what do you think?
Yeah, like, you know, it's one of those things where it looks good, but I'm kind of afraid, you know, I'm afraid that it won't be as good as it looks.
I guess that makes sense. I tend to be across the board pretty much an X-Men movies fan, with the exception, of course, of the third one, because everyone knows the third one is terrible. But, like, I know a lot of people who really hate First Class and things like that. I love First Class. I've watched that a million times. I own it. I watch it on TV. What does that look? Why do you look surprised?
I just remembered that Jubilee is going to be in it, and she has been my favorite X-Men since the cartoon was on when we were kids. So I'm excited.
I'm
excited to see her, like, more than just a second.
Right. Brienne was Jubilee at Kamikaze 2 years ago, so we should dress up in costume for this one, I think.
I don't really like dressing up, Corey. You can dress up.
I know how much you hate it. We're in opposite roles right now. It's opposite days. But
yes, definitely.
The trailer looks so cool. So I generally like, I haven't really been disappointed other than the third X-Men. I really loved Days of Future Past, and I love Oscar Isaac, so it's really hard for me to imagine that.
Yeah.
You know, you've got cool villains, you've got a cool cast of characters, ones that we already have loved in all these iterations of the films, and then some that we're being introduced to. It's a cool storyline, I think. You know, this destructive force with his 4 horsemen, who's sort of such a crazy mythological figure that everything's been patterned after him. Like, all your ancient religions and so forth are just basically like, this guy, this asshole. I can get down with it, you know.
It's a little, I don't know, pretentious, I guess. Like, I feel like that was the problem with, like, Avengers Age of Ultron. Like they just had like this, too big of a villain. Like
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, that could be a problem. It's Superman syndrome, I guess. But I don't know. Oh, speaking of which, too, Batman versus Superman comes out this week.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, and so people have been seeing it. I feel like there's a big on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 46%. But like I was gonna say people who I know have seen it really liked it. That's not true. My friend Josh really liked it. My friend who said she was solidly entertained gave it a C-. So that's not exactly
that's some Brienne rating.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not my number one favorite movie of all time, so I can't give it an A.
Yeah. No, she gave a list of all the things that she was like, oh, I hated this and this and this and this. But she was like, but I was entertained. And as expected, she was like, Jesse Eisenberg was awful as Lex Luthor.
Right. I feel like, if we can go by the trailers, he just sort of takes the magic out of the rest of the movie.
Right.
And the only thing worth seeing is Wonder Woman. And
Ben Affleck, but definitely Wonder Woman.
I hate the Batman voice. I don't like hearing that.
What the same girl had said was that like he's really great as Bruce Wayne, meh as Batman.
Right.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Like the Batman voice wasn't always a thing, right? Like I'm trying to think back. It's only been months since I've seen the Tim Burton ones. Well, Adam West. I was thinking more like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Val
I don't know.
I don't remember them doing the like Batman voice. It's like, did Christian Bale just totally change it? I guess if you think about the cartoons, like, Kevin Conroy and so forth have kind of rough voices. But like, I feel like he just has kind of a rough voice. It's not.
It sounds natural. And it's not like Dean and Cass and Supernatural.
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking, I was like, if I were, go ahead.
It's like at some point you do stop and think that can't be his natural voice, but he's so hot and like rugged that you just kind of
accept it. Well, I think of like Misha Collins saying like he would have picked a different voice had he known he was going to be playing this character for years instead of like the one-off thing he was supposed to be. And I just figure like if Bruce Wayne was a real dude who had to like come up with a voice for himself so people didn't immediately go, hey, that's Bruce Wayne, like you would pick something that like maybe wasn't so rough on the vocal cords,
Well, if Bruce Wayne, he's supposed to be like this huge inventor and he comes up with all this stuff. He should have just put a voice modulator in the mask.
That's a really good point. That would be the easier way to go. But then you get the Bane problem. Everyone's like, what? What's he saying? He's being threatening? What's the... But I don't know. Yeah, I think that is the problem. Like, come on, Bruce. Just a little thing in there and you're good. We don't have to listen to this all the time.
You should just do the podcast like that one time.
Actually, right now, Central Intelligence. Central Intelligence is our last trailer.
Oh.
Did you get a chance to watch that, Brie?
No, I did not.
Oh, Brie.
I had to do my hair and make sure my computer worked.
Oh man, Central Intelligence looks epic. It's The Rock and it's Kevin.
Oh, okay. I've seen trailers for that. Kevin Hart.
My brain was like Kevin James. Nope. Kevin Hartman. Nope. I can't. And I just couldn't make Kevin Hart be a thing. Chicken cordon bleu. Corbin bleu. Gallon bleu. Yeah, so they're, basically The Rock was like a tormented, bullied kid who gets to grow up to be a CIA agent, and Kevin Hart somehow gets sucked into his latest mission, and it looks delightful. That's all I want to say. since there's not much discussed since you haven't seen it. But it looks great. All these things are on our blog, electricfeast.com. I almost said electricfancave.com. You guys, I'm so delirious.
Well, so I did see the trailer in front. Like, I went to the Dollar Theater this weekend.
Oh, what'd you see?
I saw Daddy's Home.
How was it?
You know, it was pretty much what you'd expect from a Will Ferrell movie. But
yeah, that's kind of what I want out of it.
Mark Wahlberg was pretty cute. And then, like, there were a lot of stupid, funny parts, but I just really appreciated it. And I liked the end, and it was funny. I laughed out loud many times sitting by myself in the theater.
That's what I like about that kind of movie. I love those, like, just stupid movies where you can sit there and just, like, kind of guffaw. Like, that's all I really want out of, like, a Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell joint. So I'm down. I'm glad that you saw it. Nobody would see that with me, and I never got a chance to go see it by myself. So with that endorsement, I'll rent it on Amazon someday and force Keo to watch it. Mm-hmm. All that to say, you saw the trailer for...
Yes. And I guess all I was going to say was that in the trailer that I saw, there's a part where it said something about sometimes all you need is a Big Johnson. Do they also say, I feel like they must have said you need a little heart in a Big Johnson. But I didn't see the little heart part.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't see how they could have not said that.
Yeah, no, if they didn't, then that's like a opportunity. I don't remember it might have
been a different trailer.
Yeah, but that's amazing. That's so great.
I appreciated that.
I have a feeling this is going to be one of those movies that I just watch over and over again. Like, I'll buy it and it'll be on FX all the time because that's where they play all those action movies. And I'm just going to, like, constantly watch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's The Rock. You can't go wrong with The Rock.
It's The Rock.
And I don't know if I've ever seen a Kevin Hart movie, but people seem to like him a lot.
I've seen his stand-up, and I thought it was good.
I saw him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I'm not a big stand-up person. But
not a stand-up gal, are you?
I'm not a stand-up gal. I'm a sit down on my couch and watch TV kind of gal. But I did appreciate his stand-up.
Yeah, so I mean, with that endorsement, why wouldn't you want to go see this? I will probably. I'm like, will I see it in the theater? Probably. Midday matinee by myself.
Oh.
I'll see this movie. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back in Orange County and I'll get to watch it with
When's it coming out?
I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe.
It's gotta be soon.
Maybe it'll be in the Dollar Theater sometime.
I can't wait to get back to the Dollar Theater.
No, it's so great.
It'll be glorious. No, I mean, I guess I kind of I get to see movies for free now since I help run a movie theater. But it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm on spring break right now, so woo,
yay!
Spring break. Gonna sit in bed and drink tea. Yeah. I know how to party when it comes to spring break.
Mm-hmm. Read some books. Oh, Corey, I wanted to tell you that I have exceeded my Goodreads goal for the year of reading 5 books. And I have now read 6 books in 2016.
I'm so proud of you. It's time to up that there.
Yeah, well, I'm reading Roots, and I feel like I'm going to be reading it for a couple more months.
But are you, like, realistically, you're not going to read other things in between?
Well, I was, but then I thought, geez, I want to finish this novel that's 750 pages long, and I'm on like page 300.
Really long. 300 is pretty good, though. You're well on your way.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem is I read so many things at the same time. Have you read my romance novel yet?
No, I got a good number of chapters out of the way, and I like it so far.
Oh, okay, good.
But I'll let you know.
This is a World War II romance novel that I procured at a fan convention in LA. So,
Maybe I'll take it with me this weekend. I'm flying up north
for Easter.
For Easter to be with my parents. Maybe I'll take it with me. Read it on the plane. see what my mom thinks.
This was Brienne was having a housewarming party a few weeks ago, and the cover of this is like two male soldiers locked, and it's like a real cheesy cover, like real cheesy. And so we're like, let's just put it on the table and see who's the first one to notice it. And it actually did take like, I'd say a half hour before someone finally was like, the hell is this?
At least a half. People said, oh yeah, I noticed it, but before somebody actually said, where'd you get this book?
What you reading there, Brie? What is it? But I'm glad to know that it's captivating so far. Yeah. Anyways, with that said, thanks for listening, folks, and watching if you watched. Shout out to Julie, who said she loves when Bree's here.
Julie's here.
You can check us out on electricfeast.com for the blog. Go to the YouTube, the Twitter, the Facebook, all Electric Fancave, and Electric Feast. We're terrible at tweeting and so forth, but we try. We try our best. And subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and all the places where fine podcasts can be found. What am I missing, Brie? Am I missing anything? Oh, rate and review us.
Yeah.
And share us with your friends.
Tune in next week to listen to Leah
Ray Miller. She acts like she doesn't know. But she's been following the Leah. Don't you lie. I saw that you entered her book giveaway earlier today. So with that, thank you all once again for joining us on this sort of chill Electric Fancave day. I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
I'm Kristen Latterell. I'm Brie Ambrosea.
Peace out, everybody. Ooh, nice halo.